So I'm here joined with Nicki Shields, Formula E and Channel 4 is now a thing, it's been announced. I mean, for yourself as, broadcaster and presenter, this is pretty cool. More eyes.
It's official, yeah, we can talk about it. Which is wonderful because it's been sort of going on behind the scenes for, obviously, as you can imagine, quite a few months now. So it is really amazing that it is finally out there, and we cannot wait to just welcome the Channel 4 audience. I've been part of Formula E since the beginning back in 2014, but I think this is massively what the sport needs. It's such a kind of fun, entertaining, action-packed sport, and now that it's going to be brought to just a sort of much wider audience here in the UK, it's really, really exciting. We can't wait.
I mean, of course, if you look at a race calendar of where Formula E goes to incredible places. Of course, a double header kicking off India, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're going. It's global, and if people are sleeping on it, they're mad to miss out, because last season, of course, was a dramatic finish in Temple Half. Of course, we saw Nick de Vries over the championship. We saw all kind of drama of Mitch Evans getting rear-ended at the start. And I think this is what's incredible. This is what's incredible is the Formula E. Of course, in Formula One, we know who are the top guns.
Yeah.
Formula E, complete unpredictable. We've also got new faces this year. Who ask you, Tictum, FENIXX coming down as well. So the roster is starting to look really interesting.
It is. I think, as you say, there's so much to talk about with this season. It's season 8 of Formula E, and we do race around the world in some of the world's most iconic cities, and also that some of the world's most iconic tracks. We're going to be going to Monaco, where there's a huge amount of history. I think, that's always one to talk about if you are new to the sport. It's still a track that everyone knows, They know the glamour and the fame that comes with racing in Monaco, and Formula E does that full circuit now. So that's going to be an exciting one. I think, as you said, we kick off the season in Saudi Arabia with not one but 2 races, got a double header and under the lights, so they're both night races, which you just can't take away from the excitement being on the grid in the sort of the darkness under the lights. It's just so exhilarating. There's this amazing atmosphere, amazing buzz, and I think that's going to be one of the most exciting points in the season. Towards the end of the season, it gets exciting when it's all about the title decider. But that first race with 22 drivers there, so much anticipation, so much expectation as well. And obviously, now with the Channel 4 audience on board, it's going to be amazing just to see them all kind of barrel into that pretty tight first corner to see what happens. And then, as you mentioned, we've also got new drivers as well to get excited about. We've also had a few moves. So Lucas di Grassi, season 3 champion, a very well-established, highly regarded driver in Formula E, came from Audi. Now, Audi, this is going to be the first season that we don't have them in the pit lane, so it was very sad to see them go, but they still leave behind their, sort of famed driver, Lucas di Grassi, and he's jumping across to the Rocket Venturi team, and the Rocket Venturi supporting the Mercedes powertrain.
Yes.
So obviously Mercedes, big name in motorsport, big name in Formula E, having won with Nick de Vries the Drivers' Championship last year. So I think there's just so much stuff to get excited about.
Absolutely.
And to talk about and to keep an eye on, that we will have plenty to talk about.
and that's of course, it's our last season in Gen 2, Gen 3 for next year. A lot of interesting things. Obviously, Mercedes will swap out. We're going to gain. Well, McLaren, of course, have spoken and committed to appearing. And Maserati, of course. Come
exactly.
on.
First Italian.
About time, right?
Big brand, coming into Formula E. Again, so exciting to have Maserati. I think, they're such a sort of prestigious automaker. So to be coming into Formula E, to showing their kind of commitment to electric racing, is just wonderful to see. And I know that they are going to be coming in and wanting to make a mark. They're going to be in it to win it.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be really interesting to see sort of Maserati go head to head with some of the brands like, Jaguar, who we've seen in the championship for a good few years now.
And of course, you have been a part of this motorsport world, I don't want to age it, but like for a long time. And it's been great to see how Formula E has developed across these 8 seasons. And electric racing is incredibly impressive. We've seen what Extreme E also offers, the hybrid era in other motorsports. Just how great and how exciting is the future for Formula E?
Yeah, it's amazing, because if you think when Formula E came about, it was such a pioneering sport, because ultimately the point of Formula E is to showcase how great electric cars are and to promote electric cars in city centres. Now, back in 2014, no disrespect, but there was the Nissan Leaf, there was the Renault Zoe, and there weren't that many other cars available when it comes to electric cars on our roads. Whereas you look around now, and you've got the Porsche Taycan, which has just been announced as the Formula E safety car. You've got things like, all the various Teslas that you could go on about. You've got ludicrous mode, 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. This is groundbreaking stuff when it comes to the sort of automotive world. And so to suddenly see in the sort of relatively 8 short years, just how electrification of cars has completely changed is amazing. So I think now Formula E is in a really, really brilliant position to just remind the world that electric cars can be really cool and really fast.
It certainly is in a good position. And we as Brits, we're very lucky that we've got Channel 4. We get to see you, Nicki, on there as well. So we get more eyes to see Formula E, to see you in action, to see the incredible action track. So hey, it's going to be exciting. Thank you so much for getting us hyped for this new season.
Thank you very much for having me. And I hope all of our sort of old fans who have been with us since the beginning enjoy it. And of course, a massive welcome to all the new fans too.
Vernon, Season 8, Formula E, 2021 season, and it's Formula E now broadcasting on Channel 4. And as a man that's, familiar with Channel 4 and that relationship there, but, esports coming over to Channel 4, it's pretty great, right?
Yeah, it's amazing, to be honest with you, because if you think about it, Formula E's in its 8th season, and if you look at established sports globally and established motor racing series, it's still a baby.
It is.
And if you think of other attempts of getting a motorsport up and running, to get past that, I guess you'd call it the dreaded 3rd album series. Yeah. Get past 3 and think, wow, we're up and running, we're onto something here. But to get to season 8 with another car in development is really impressive. And the guys behind the scenes work tirelessly and so hard to really get the message of Formula E into motorsports fans and say, yeah, okay, look, it doesn't sound the same, but it's more exciting. Yeah. And to find a home at Channel 4, for me personally, it feels really comfortable. And I always laugh when I do stuff at Channel 4 because to me, Channel 4 is the network that gives me an opportunity to become the presenter, I guess, or the person who I am, because I had such a laugh doing T4 for 6 or 7 years with June Sarpong, and I learned so much doing that show. And then on the flip side of the coin, I've learned even more from doing Formula E, because when you travel the globe doing a live sports broadcast, it's not like you have a script. You have an idea of what you're going to talk about, but that idea that you talk about in the planning phase of a live sports event never happens. It honestly never happens. So it's been seat of my pants, and I think it's given me more confidence as a live broadcaster doing sport, and I think it's been an amazing journey.
And what have you learned through your process of doing Formula E so far? Because of course, it is in motorsport. It is, on the paddock and whatnot. It's fun chaos. Of course,
organised chaos.
Organised chaos is a nicer way to put it. For yourself as a presenter, what kind of, you kind of touched upon, but as far as attributes, what have you learned and gained from it? Because of course, as you do this, you're also learning more about how Formula E develops. Yeah,
well, Channel 4's Formula 1 host is Steve Jones, who went into T4 after myself, and there was a slight crossover, like there was a slight crossover between myself and Dermot, and Steve's just like literally a whirlwind of energy. So when I got offered the Formula E job, as it was Channel 5 at the time, he sent me a message, and I went and actually we had a bit of breakfast together. I said, "What's it like?" He went, "It's completely different." He said, "Your first half a dozen races, you'll be like, what the heck is this?" And he was right. I was like, what the heck is this? But he said something to me which has stayed with me from the moment it came out of his mouth. And he said, "You need to know enough, but you don't need to go through their bins." which I think is great.
It's great
because what he means is yeah, do your study, learn it, but don't learn too much that it stifles the conversation. And that's what I've tried to do, and that's what I still do, is because you don't want to go into a conversation or a debate or an argument with what you think are all the answers. And we've got some amazing drivers in Formula E because they've all been through the cycle of what it takes to be a racing car driver. So they've got media experience, they know how to tell a story, they've been in so many duels with rivals and competitors that they know what sparks the flame which ignites a debate. So all you've got to do is prod the beast with our drivers, and we've got some great characters, you know, like my favourite is Andre Lotterer because he's so calm, cool and collected, you know, and he represents Porsche, which is a huge brand. But once he gets a little bit annoyed, a little bit angry, you just give him a little bit of a nudge and he goes. And his on-air persona of cool, calm and laid back, to me, it doesn't represent his driving persona because he is a beast. You know, on the track, I don't think anyone wants to be in an overtaking duel or a defending duel with Andre Lotterer. And that's the Andre Lotterer. And those are the kind of drivers that we've got. We've got drivers that can drive, drivers that have got personality, drivers who are aggressive, drivers who understand what we are, which I think is really important because, you know, you do get detractors and you do get doubters because it doesn't sound the same and they're not as fast and this, that and the other. But like I said at the beginning, we're a baby when it comes to motorsport. We're still in the fetal stage of what Formula E is going to become. And I think once you embrace that and you realise that we are the future, we're going to get faster, we're going to have more power, we're going to be more efficient, we're going to branch out into hybrid tracks as well as inner city tracks. And then, you know, proper, look at Monaco, look at the impact that we had in the Monaco race. That was outstanding. And there were people who realised, I remember that day so well, only a couple of people said, it's going to be good today. You're like, oh, okay, and then there were people talking about lap times and this, that and the other, and all that went out the window when Mitch Evans and Antonio Felix da Costa got in that overtaking battle going up to the casino, up the hill, and everyone's like, this is the real deal. And from that moment on, people have gone, yeah, you know, I get it now. And it's going to get bigger and better, and I'm so proud and pleased that I'm a part of it.
I mean, I've been very lucky to see races at Berlin, Tempelhof, and even the recent London E-Prix. And for my friends that came along and saw it for the first time, they got to see what it's all about, and it's truly exciting. We've got, you know, new names from you know, Tictum, Askew, Antonio Giovinazzi even coming across.
Yeah,
so
amazing.
It shows that the standard of the driving roster in Formula E are attracting
but not
some
only
of the finest
that,
drivers.
I think it's drivers want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Because drivers realise that it's not about pressing the accelerator and having the option to brake. It's about the whole algorithm of what it takes to be a successful Formula E driver, because these cars are different.
Sure.
You know, there's a lot of maths involved, a lot of science when it comes to energy preservation and how much energy we're going to have by, you know, do we have safety cars and this, that and the other, and we've got rule changes this year as well regarding safety cars and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, racing car drivers have to do about a dozen things at once, whereas Formula E, you've got to do 24 things at once. You know, and it's a great compliment that so many drivers want to be involved.
Well, it's the perfect match. You've got Formula E, Channel 4, so us Brits get to enjoy it more. Counting down to the double header at Diriyah in Saudi Arabia, so we're excited. Vernon's going to be there, so we'll be tuning in. And
nice plug, by the way.
So yeah, that's it.
Hey.
So tune in, Formula E on Channel 4.
Yeah,
we'll see you there.
You know who butters your bread, brother.
That's it.